Welcome to Today I Will Take You on a Journey into My Own World. Story 1. The Ancient Monastery of Eternal Wisdom and Deep Rest. The Ancient Monastery of Eternal Wisdom and Deep Rest. As you prepare yourself for sleep, imagine yourself walking along a narrow mountain path. The path winds upward through a landscape of extraordinary natural beauty. But this is not an ordinary mountain landscape. This is a place that exists in the realm of dreams, a place where the laws of nature operate according to the principles of peace and harmony, rather than the harsh laws of the physical world. The mountains around you are covered in vegetation of impossible lushness, forests of ancient trees that have stood for thousands of years, their trunks so massive that it would take 20 people holding hands to encircle them. The air around you is cool and fresh, filled with the scent of pine and earth, and something else, something indefinably comforting that you cannot quite name, but that makes you feel safe and at home. With each step you take along the path, you feel your body becoming lighter, less burdened by the weight of the physical world. Your breathing becomes slower and deeper, synchronized with the rhythm of your footsteps, synchronized with the rhythm of the mountain itself. The path before you is lined with stones that glow with a soft inner light. These stones are not ordinary stones, but ancient markers, placed there long ago by people who understood the sacred nature of this mountain, who recognized it as a place of power and peace and healing. The stones guide you upward, always upward, deeper into the mountain, closer to your destination. As you climb higher, you begin to notice other markers of civilization. First, you see prayer flags hanging from trees, fabric of every color of the rainbow, moving gently in breezes that seem to carry blessings and peace down the mountainside. Then you see prayer wheels, ancient structures of wood and metal that spin slowly, their rotation seeming to generate waves of peaceful energy that wash over you with each revolution. The vegetation around you begins to change. The dense forests give way to more open spaces where wildflowers bloom in profusion. These are not ordinary flowers, but flowers of extraordinary beauty, in colors that seem to vibrate with their own internal energy. Purple flowers that glow with an almost ethereal light. Blue flowers that seem to contain the essence of the sky itself. White flowers that are so pure and luminous that they seem to be made of condensed moonlight. You walk among these flowers, and with each flower you pass, you feel yourself becoming more peaceful, more deeply relaxed. The fragrance of the flowers enters your lungs with each breath, and you feel it carrying away all tension, all stress, all concern. Your mind becomes increasingly quiet, less occupied with the thoughts and worries that normally consume your consciousness. Instead, your awareness becomes focused purely on the present moment, on the beauty of the flowers, on the rhythm of your breathing, on the gentle movement of your body along the path. The path becomes steeper, but strangely, this does not make you feel more tired. Instead, each step seems to energize you, to strengthen you, to bring you closer to something infinitely important, something that your soul has been seeking for a very long time. You understand, without knowing how you understand, that there is a monastery somewhere at the top of this mountain, a place of ancient wisdom and profound peace, and that you are being guided toward it by forces that exist beyond ordinary comprehension. After what might be hours or might be days, time has become increasingly irrelevant in this place. You begin to see structures appearing among the mountains. These are not ordinary buildings, but structures that seem to have grown out of the mountain itself, formed from the stone and shaped by the hands of master craftspeople working across centuries. The buildings are simple in design, but profound in their beauty. Their proportions and angles creating a sense of peace and balance. As you draw closer, you begin to see the walls of the monastery itself. The walls are made of stone that has been aged to a warm golden color by centuries of exposure to sun and wind. The stones are fitted together so perfectly that you cannot see the mortar between them, as if the wall is not constructed, but rather has always existed, has always been part of the mountain itself. The gate of the monastery is open, inviting you to enter. The gate is framed by an archway carved with images and symbols of extraordinary complexity and beauty. These symbols speak of Buddhism and of other spiritual traditions, of the universal human search for peace and enlightenment and release from suffering. As you pass through the gate, you feel a shift in the atmosphere. The air becomes even more pure, even more peaceful, even more deeply conducive to rest and relaxation. Inside the monastery, you find yourself in a courtyard of extraordinary beauty. The courtyard is paved with stones arranged in patterns of geometric precision. In the center of the courtyard is a fountain, and the water flowing from the fountain is so clear and pure that you can see every detail of the stone basin beneath the surface. The water makes a gentle sound as it flows, a sound like a meditation bell ringing infinitely far away, a sound that speaks directly to your consciousness of peace and rest and the dissolution of all concern. Around the courtyard are buildings, dormitories, meditation halls, libraries containing the wisdom of ages. All of these buildings are constructed with the same simplicity and profundity, the same attention to proportion and harmony. All of them radiate a sense of peace and acceptance and invitation. A monk emerges from one of the buildings and approaches you. The monk is ancient, his face lined with the wisdom of countless years, his eyes bright with compassion and understanding. He does not speak, but he gestures for you to follow him. You understand that he is about to show you something important, something that your soul needs to experience in order to achieve the deepest, most healing sleep. He leads you into one of the buildings, down a corridor lit by soft candlelight. The walls of the corridor are painted with images of extraordinary beauty, images of Buddha, images of bodhisattvas and saints of every tradition, images that speak of enlightenment and peace and the transcendence of the individual self. Your mind follows the images, becoming increasingly absorbed in their symbolism, increasingly peaceful in their contemplation. The monk leads you to a room of extraordinary simplicity. The room contains nothing but a meditation cushion and a window that looks out over the mountain landscape. The view from the window is breathtaking. You can see for miles in every direction, seeing forests and valleys and distant mountains painted in shades of purple and blue. The sky above is the color of deepest blue, and stars are beginning to appear as if the sun is setting. Though you have no memory of the sun being high in the sky, no memory of time passing while you have been in the monastery. The monk bows to you respectfully, then departs, leaving you alone in the room. You sit on the meditation cushion, and immediately you feel as though the cushion is supporting you perfectly, as if it was made specifically for your body and your needs. You look out the window at the landscape, and you feel yourself becoming increasingly peaceful, increasingly absorbed in the contemplation of natural beauty. Your breathing slows until it becomes almost imperceptible. Your heartbeat slows to match the rhythm of the universe itself. Your consciousness begins to expand, becoming less focused on your individual self and beginning to encompass the mountains, the valleys, the sky, the stars. You understand, in a way that transcends ordinary understanding, that you are not separate from the landscape, but rather are part of it, an integral element of the mountain's peace and the sky's eternal rest. Hours pass, or perhaps days, or perhaps no time passes at all in this place where time has lost all meaning. You remain sitting on the meditation cushion, gazing out at the landscape, feeling your consciousness expanding and dissolving the boundaries between self and other, between waking and sleeping, between the individual and the infinite. And as the night grows deeper, as the stars multiply in the sky above the mountains, as your consciousness becomes increasingly diffuse and ethereal, you feel yourself finally slipping away from the conscious world entirely. Your body remains on the cushion, but your consciousness has journeyed to a place beyond sleep and waking, a place of infinite peace and infinite rest. You drift deeper and deeper into this place, knowing with absolute certainty that you are safe, that you are protected, that you are home in this monastery of eternal wisdom and eternal peace. Story 2: The Hidden Valley of Perpetual Twilight and Endless Serenity. The hidden valley of perpetual twilight and endless serenity. Imagine yourself discovering a path that leads away from the ordinary world and into a place that has been hidden since the beginning of time. This path appears suddenly before you, and you recognize instinctively that it has been waiting for you, calling to you, inviting you to journey into a realm of extraordinary beauty and peace. The path is made of a soft material that feels warm beneath your feet, warm and welcoming, and inviting you to take the first step. As you follow the path, you notice that the landscape around you begins to change. The ordinary trees and grass of the world you have known give way to vegetation of increasing strangeness and beauty. The trees become taller and more majestic, their bark seeming to contain light within it. The grass becomes softer, more luminous, almost as if it is made of some material finer and more delicate than ordinary grass. The path descends gradually, always descending, taking you deeper and deeper into a valley that becomes increasingly hidden from the outside world. The sides of the valley become higher, steeper, more enveloping, until you find yourself surrounded by walls of stone that rise impossibly high above you. But these stone walls are not threatening or confining. Instead, they seem to be cradling you, protecting you, holding you in an embrace of stone and earth and ancient strength. After a time, the path opens into the valley itself, and you stop in wonder at what you see. The valley before you is of extraordinary vastness, and yet, despite its size, it feels intimate and welcoming, as if it has been designed specifically as a sanctuary for you and for others like you who have journeyed here seeking peace. The valley is filled with trees of extraordinary beauty. These trees are not like the trees of the ordinary world. Some have trunks of silver, others of gold, still others of deep bronze that glows in the perpetual twilight that fills the valley. The foliage of the trees is of colors that seem almost impossible. Soft blues, purples, greens, and golds that seem to emit their own internal luminescence. The trees are not densely packed, but spaced in a way that allows you to see deeper into the valley, while still providing a sense of privacy and enclosure. The sky above the valley is in a state of perpetual twilight. It is neither fully day nor fully night, but rather exists in a state of perfect balance between the two. The light is soft and golden and blue simultaneously, coming from both the sun and the moon at once, creating an illumination that is neither harsh nor dark, but perfectly calibrated to soothe the human eye and the human consciousness. Beneath the trees is vegetation of extraordinary lushness. Flowers bloom in profusion in colors that seem to vibrate with their own inner light. Some flowers are so delicate that they seem as if they might dissolve at the slightest touch, while others are robust and vital, their petals thick and velvety to the touch. All of the flowers emit fragrances of extraordinary subtlety and beauty, fragrances that seem designed specifically to induce peace and relaxation in those who encounter them. You begin to walk into the valley, and with each step, you feel yourself becoming more deeply peaceful. The soft grass beneath your feet seems to massage your feet, to release tension from them, to prepare them for the infinite journey of relaxation that is about to unfold. The fragrance of the flowers enters your lungs with each breath, and you feel it penetrating into every cell of your body, carrying with it the essence of peace and rest and the dissolution of all tension. As you walk deeper into the valley, you begin to notice water features. First, you encounter small streams that flow through the valley with a gentle gurgling sound. Water in these streams is the clearest, most pure water you have ever seen. It glows with a soft light that comes from within the water itself. And as you look into the water, you see that it reflects not just your image, but also images of peace and rest and infinite calm. Following one of the streams, you discover that it leads to a lake of extraordinary beauty. The lake is perfectly circular, and its waters are so clear and still that they reflect the sky above it perfectly. The lake is surrounded by a beach of the finest sand that is so soft and fine that your feet sink into it with each step. You remove your shoes and walk onto the beach. The sand feels like the finest silk against your skin, warm and welcoming, and inviting you to lie down upon it. You settle yourself onto the sand, and you find that it molds itself to your body, supporting you perfectly, asking nothing of you except that you allow yourself to rest. Lying on the beach, you gaze up at the twilight sky. The sky is painted in colors of extraordinary beauty, soft blues and purples and golds that seem to shift and change as you watch them. Occasionally, stars appear in the sky. Not the distant stars of the ordinary night, but stars that seem close and intimate and aware of your presence. As you lie on the beach, your awareness begins to expand. You become aware of the gentle lapping of the lake water against the shore. You become aware of the fragrance of the flowers carried on a gentle breeze. You become aware of the soft sounds of birds singing in the distance. Songs so beautiful and so peaceful that they seem designed specifically to induce sleep and dreaming and the deepest rest. Your breathing slows to match the rhythm of the waves on the shore. Your heartbeat slows to match the pulse of the valley itself. Your consciousness becomes increasingly diffuse, spreading outward to encompass not just your body, but the beach, the lake, the valley, the trees, the sky itself. Time passes in the night, valley, but you have no awareness of how much time passes. Hours might be minutes, days might be hours. It does not matter. There is only this moment, this place, this infinite peace and infinite rest. Your eyelids become heavy. Your body feels impossibly heavy and perfectly supported at the same time. Your consciousness begins to drift, moving toward the borders of sleep, attracted to the realm of dreams by forces that transcend ordinary understanding. And as you drift deeper and deeper toward sleep, lying on the soft sand of the beach, surrounded by the beauty of the valley, cradled by the peace that radiates from every element of this sacred place, you finally surrender completely to rest. You feel yourself slipping away from consciousness, moving into the realm of dreams, knowing with absolute certainty that you are safe, protected, and deeply loved by the universe itself. The valley remains around you, holding you, protecting you, ensuring your peace as you journey into the realm. Infinite landscapes of dreams and the deepest, most healing sleep. Story 3. The Palace of Infinite Rooms and Eternal Comfort. The Palace of Infinite Rooms and Eternal Comfort. Picture yourself standing before a palace of extraordinary architectural beauty. The palace rises before you in a series of towers and domes and archways that seem to defy the laws of geometry and physics. The palace is made of materials that seem to be neither stone nor marble, but something far more precious and magical. The walls shimmer with colors of extraordinary subtlety, colors that seem to shift and change as you gaze upon them, as if the palace itself is alive and breathing and aware of your presence. The palace gates are open, and you are invited to enter. You step through the gates into a courtyard of extraordinary beauty. The courtyard is paved with stones of such perfect smoothness and regularity that they seem almost unreal. In the center of the courtyard is a fountain of breathtaking beauty, a fountain that seems to be constructed of pure light and water and music, somehow combined into a single structure. A figure appears from one of the palace doorways and approaches you. The figure is beautiful beyond measure, neither male nor female, but encompassing qualities of both. The figure radiates an aura of peace and compassion and infinite kindness. The figure does not speak, but you understand perfectly what is being communicated. You are welcome here. You belong here. The palace has been prepared specifically for you. The figure gestures for you to follow, and you understand that you are about to begin a journey through the palace, a journey through rooms of extraordinary beauty and comfort, a journey that will lead you deeper and deeper into states of progressively profound peace and relaxation. You follow the figure through a doorway into the palace. Inside, you find yourself in a corridor of extraordinary length and beauty. The corridor is lined with doors on both sides, doors made of materials that shimmer and glow with inner light. Between the doors are windows that look out onto vistas of extraordinary beauty. Mountains and valleys and oceans and forests and cities of such impossible beauty that they seem to exist only in the realm of dreams and imagination. The figure leads you to the first door and gestures for you to enter. You step through the doorway and find yourself in a room of extraordinary luxury and comfort. The room is furnished with objects made from materials of the finest quality. Furniture upholstered in the softest fabrics imaginable. Decorations of precious metals and gems that glow with their own internal light. Paintings on the walls that depict scenes of extraordinary beauty and peace. But what impresses you most about the room is not the luxury of the furnishings, but the atmosphere that pervades the space. The air itself seems to be composed of peace and comfort. The light that fills the room is soft and golden and perfectly calibrated to soothe the eye and the consciousness. The temperature is perfect, warm enough to be comfortable, cool enough to be refreshing. In the center of the room is a bed of extraordinary beauty and comfort. The bed is large enough to seem almost like a room unto itself. The mattress is made from materials so soft and supportive that you cannot imagine how such comfort could possibly be achieved. The pillows are filled with down so fine and light that they seem almost weightless. The blankets are woven from fabrics so soft and luxurious that they feel like they might dissolve at your touch. You approach the bed and lie down upon it. As you do, you feel as though the bed is embracing you, cradling you, holding you with infinite tenderness and care. Your body sinks into the mattress, and you feel every muscle, every joint, every cell being supported perfectly. The pillows adjust themselves to the perfect height and firmness for your neck and head. The blankets conform themselves to the shape of your body, providing exactly the right amount of warmth and coverage. As you lie on the bed, you gaze around the room. The paintings on the walls seem to shift and change as you look at them, depicting scenes that are increasingly peaceful and soporific. You see images of beautiful valleys, of peaceful oceans, of forests filled with the most delicate and beautiful flowers. You see images of celestial bodies moving in perfect harmony, images of light and color and peace beyond anything you have experienced in the waking world. The air in the room carries fragrance of extraordinary subtlety. Not a single scent, but a blend of fragrances of extraordinary complexity, each one contributing to an overall effect of profound relaxation and peace. As you breathe in this air, you feel it penetrating into every cell of your being, carrying with it the essence of rest and healing, and the dissolution of all tension and concern. Your breathing becomes slower and deeper. Your heartbeat slows. Your consciousness begins to drift, becoming less focused on the external world and more focused on the internal landscape of your own mind and consciousness. The figure reappears in the room, moving silently, and begins to play music. But this is not music that comes from any ordinary instrument. It is music that seems to emanate from the very structure of the universe itself. Music that speaks directly to the deepest parts of your consciousness. Music that carries with it suggestions of infinite peace and infinite rest. As the music plays, your awareness of the external world begins to fade. The room around you becomes increasingly dreamlike, increasingly ethereal, increasingly unreal. The boundaries between your body and the bed begin to blur until you are no longer certain where your body ends and the bed begins. The figure approaches the bed and places a cool hand on your forehead. The touch is infinitely gentle, infinitely compassionate, infinitely soothing. You feel the touch penetrating into your consciousness, carrying with it a wave of profound peace and rest. Your eyelids become heavy. Your body feels impossibly heavy. Your consciousness begins to drift, moving away from the waking world, moving toward the realm of sleep and dreams and infinite rest. The figure continues to stand beside the bed, silent and peaceful and protective. And as you drift deeper and deeper into sleep, lying in the most comfortable bed that has ever existed, cradled by peace and supported by infinite compassion, you feel yourself finally surrendering completely to the healing power of rest. You slip away from consciousness, moving into the realm of dreams, knowing with absolute certainty that you are safe and protected and deeply loved by forces that exist beyond ordinary understanding. Story 4. The Sanctuary of Eternal Twilight and Infinite Belonging. The Sanctuary of Eternal Twilight and Infinite Belonging. Imagine yourself discovering a place that you have been seeking your entire life without knowing that you were seeking it. This place is a sanctuary of extraordinary beauty and peace, a place where all the elements of nature and comfort and human wisdom have been combined to create an environment of absolute perfection for rest and relaxation and the deepest sleep. You enter this sanctuary through a gateway made of living wood, branches that are still green and vital and growing. The branches are woven together in patterns of extraordinary complexity, creating a structure that is at once both open and enclosed, both beautiful and functional. As you pass through the gateway, you feel a shift in the atmosphere around you. A shift that tells you that you have crossed from the ordinary world into a realm of extraordinary peace and beauty. Inside the sanctuary, you find yourself in a landscape that combines elements of forest and garden and cultivated beauty in perfect harmony. The ground beneath your feet is soft and comfortable, made of a combination of moss and earth and materials of such perfect texture that each step is a pleasure rather than a burden. The air around you is filled with fragrances of extraordinary subtlety. Fragrances of flowers and herbs and fresh water and earth, all combined in a blend that seems designed specifically to induce peace and relaxation. The vegetation around you is of extraordinary beauty. Trees of great height and age stretch upward, their trunks massive and strong, their foliage green and vital and glowing in the perpetual twilight that fills this place. Between the trees grow flowers of every color imaginable. Flowers that bloom in profusion, flowers that emit fragrances and light that speak of beauty and peace. The sky above the sanctuary is in a state of perpetual twilight, neither fully day nor fully night, but existing in a state of perfect balance that creates an illumination that is neither harsh nor dark, but perfectly soothing to the eye and the consciousness. Stars are visible in the clear sky, but they are not distant stars, but stars that seem close and intimate and benevolent. As you walk deeper into the sanctuary, you begin to encounter other elements designed for comfort and rest. You discover fountains of extraordinary beauty, fountains where water flows with sounds of infinite gentleness and peace. The water in the fountains glows with soft light, and as you listen to the sound of the water, you feel yourself becoming more peaceful, more deeply relaxed, more thoroughly prepared for the deepest sleep. You discover gardens of extraordinary beauty, gardens where flowers bloom in infinite profusion, where herbs and medicinal plants grow in abundance, where every element of the natural world has been arranged in patterns designed specifically to induce peace and healing and the restoration of mental and physical well-being. You discover pathways of soft stone that wind through the sanctuary, pathways that seem to invite exploration and yet also seem to lead you always deeper into peace and rest. You follow one of these pathways, and it leads you to a clearing of extraordinary beauty. In the center of the clearing is a structure made of natural materials, wood and stone, and materials of extraordinary beauty combined in architecture of such profound simplicity and grace that it takes your breath away. The structure is neither quite a house nor quite a temple, but something that combines the comfort of home with the sacred feeling of a holy place. You approach the structure and find that the entrance is open, inviting you to step inside. You cross the threshold and find yourself in a space of extraordinary beauty and comfort. The interior is lit by soft candlelight and by light that seems to emanate from the walls themselves. The space is furnished with objects designed specifically for comfort and rest. Cushions and blankets and furniture of such quality and design that simply looking at them makes you feel more peaceful. In the center of this space is a bed of extraordinary comfort and beauty. You approach the bed and lie down upon it. As you do, you feel yourself sinking into comfort beyond anything you have ever experienced. The mattress supports you perfectly, The pillows embrace your head and neck with infinite gentleness. The blankets cover you with exactly the right amount of warmth. As you lie on the bed, you become aware that you are not alone in this space. There are presences around you, not threatening or intrusive, but gentle and protective and filled with compassion. These presences seem to understand your needs perfectly. They understand that you need rest, that you need healing, that you need to be held and supported and cared for. The presences work together to create an environment of absolute perfection for sleep. They adjust the temperature in the room to match your needs exactly. They adjust the light to match the state of your consciousness. They seem to be creating a perfect symphony of comfort and safety and peace, designed specifically for you. Your breathing becomes slower and deeper. Your heartbeat slows. Your consciousness begins to drift, becoming less focused on the external world and more absorbed in the internal landscape of your own mind and spirit. You become aware of music, not ordinary music, but a kind of music that seems to come from the earth itself, from the sky above, from the very fabric of existence. This music speaks directly to your consciousness, carrying with it suggestions of infinite peace and infinite rest. Your eyelids become heavy. Your body feels impossibly heavy and perfectly supported at the same time. Your consciousness continues to drift, moving steadily toward the realm of sleep and dreams. And as you lie in this sanctuary of eternal twilight, surrounded by elements of perfect beauty and perfect comfort, cradled by presences of infinite compassion and kindness, you finally surrender completely to the healing power of rest. You slip away from consciousness, moving into the realm of dreams, knowing with absolute certainty that you are safe and protected and deeply loved, that this sanctuary exists for you, that it will hold you and protect you and support you through the night and always. You drift deeper and deeper into the most profound, most healing, most restorative sleep. And in this sleep, you find everything your soul has been seeking: peace, safety, love, and the infinite rest that comes only in the realm of dreams.